On-the-scene coverage of ACC.13 is supported by Janssen Pharmaceuticals, Incorporated.
Hi, I'm Peggy Peck with MedPage Today, and on the scene with the ACC. So my question really is, I mean, we were talking about niacin, and is that dead? But I'm wondering the larger question in terms of HDL and this issue of surrogates. So we do things, we manipulate surrogates, and do we get a clinical benefit? Maybe this is not a good approach to take, and so I think that's the larger question here, and I'd like to just have some comment on this. You know, whether trying to boost HDL in someone whose HDL is very low through pharmacology rather than diet and exercise is really a worthwhile effort. I mean, is that or is it all LDL, or should we just forget the surrogate endpoints?
Important question. Let's give it to some of our experts here.
HDL remains a very important predictor of risk, and we actually only increased the HDL by quite a small amount in this trial, and I don't believe it really tells us anything very useful about whether or not other mechanisms of raising HDL might still be beneficial. I think that this is, we don't know what the mechanism of action really of niacin. We can't easily pigeonhole it, and so I think that it may well be that other mechanisms of raising HDL may reverse some of the epidemiological risk, but I think we just don't know that at the moment, and I certainly think it's premature to be saying that raising HDL is not going to work. I think we just simply don't know yet.
The issue is HDL cholesterol, we still know it's a good risk predictor. That hasn't changed. The question is, what do you do? And the data, we know that statins work in these patients. And now we know that in these patients, if they're on a statin, they're well controlled, that niacin doesn't work. We saw that dalcetrapib didn't work. So, it's not going to be as simple as just raising HDL. Now, the genetics, I think, in some ways are insightful, that we can look at by both, rare and common variants, almost everything that affects LDL affects risk in the same direction. If your LDL goes up, you have more risk. If your LDL is down, the genetics of HDL are much more complex. There's a number of genes that influence HDL levels, and they do not influence risk for CHD. But there are some that do. So it may simply be that there are certain ways to raise HDL or to modulate HDL function, which maybe is not the same as HDL cholesterol, that could be beneficial. So I think we have to keep an open mind on that. But we do know that simply raising HDL cholesterol does not necessarily predict you're going to have any benefit in these patients.